Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2019, episode number 6. We are entering our second year of play. Quick recruiting recap after the last episode. We had Brian Watkins just at the end of the last episode. His rank currently is number 63. We've also added the center, Vernon Delord, now ranked number 124. In addition to that, we have two other guys that we're looking at. So here is Watkins. He's an A on scoring, a B on defense, a very, very good player. He's been right on the edge of A and B for his overall ranking. Here is Delord, who is a B on offense with a good inside shot, decent defender, and a good rebounder. And then I have Lofton here. Brandon Lofton, we are number 4 on his list. That was only 1 week of contact recruiting after the previous small forward, one of the top recruits, did end up signing elsewhere. I think it was UCLA. But good scoring, good defense. This is a really good player for as low as his ranking is. He is out of Portland, so he is a local kid, and we've got a very, very good chance of getting him recruited. Almost certain that we will be able to get him. And then the last player that we're after is somebody that was after contact that I decided to get after we lost another player to another school. So this one's still not guaranteed, but he is from Beaverton, Oregon, so basically the Portland area, and location is very high on his list. So I have a feeling we will have a pretty easy time of getting him, as the things he cares about are the things that I tend to be able to recruit a bit better. So scoring-wise, he's a B. Rebounding, he's a B. Defense, he is pretty all right at that, and overall is a B. So we could have ourselves a pretty decent recruiting class coming in, and even better than what we had a year ago. Now, for the roster, I have decided to redshirt 2 of the freshmen who came in. Jared Finger is going to redshirt, and Donnie Jefferson will redshirt this season. The other 2 freshmen will not. And our first look at the ratings here. These are our 2 walk-ons. And then we have Otis Word, who is already on the team, a sophomore now. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Here is Edward Ramey, who is not redshirting. He is playing this season. Only a 2.5-star recruit, so not great as Ramey turned out. But here's Donnie Jefferson redshirting this season, and Jared Finger, so both of them 3.5-star potential. And then redshirted last year is Rashard Reiner. So now a redshirt freshman at small forward, but only 1 star still. And then now we start to get into that small depth that we have for the season. 1.5-star guy in Crosby. 2-star guy in Mickey Williams. So that is likely our starting center. And then Henderson at power forward is 2 stars. And he's a senior this year, with Jason Williams, a small forward, at 2 stars as well. Brennan Runyon, true freshman, 2 stars, 4-star potential. I'm likely going to start him at power forward over Michael Henderson, but I have not really compared the 2 head-to-head. Let's see, better scoring or screening. Trying to remember if that's screen or score. I think it's screen. Passing, these guys are quite similar to each other. Offensive rebounding, defense. Oh, much better defender. There you go. Not as good blocking, but yeah, definitely Runyon. Runyon is going to start. He'll have split minutes with the senior, but Runyon is going to be the starter. Harrington, the other true freshman, also ready to start. So I'm going to have 2 freshmen in the starting lineup this season, and then I've only got 2 quality players in Bellamy and Colt Carr. Colt Carr at 3.5 stars. So still not a very good lineup at all. I think we're about the same as last year, maybe slightly better. But with 2 freshmen in the lineup, if they develop well heading into next season, plus our redshirt guys, if they develop well heading into next season, I think we're going to be looking a little bit better. The only downside is that the 2 good players I have right now are both seniors. So, depth chart. Ramey, no. Ramey is not starting there. We are starting with Harrington. And not Henderson. We are going to get Runyon. There we go. Oh, no. What are we doing here? Okay, Henderson I want at power... No, hold on. I want Runyon at power forward. There we go. And Mickey Williams at center. So I've got a decent backup here, Jason Williams. I've got Henderson. So we're going to have a pretty thin bench this year. Williams, 6'7", Colt Carr, 6'6". So that leaves me really shy on the guard side, as we're down to 1 stars for backups. I've got to have somebody who can play down. Is it going to be Carr? Carr's going to pick up some extra minutes. Carr's going to play at shooting guard as well. He's got to be the backup behind Harrington. Bellamy's going to play a lot of minutes. Carr's going to play a lot of minutes. Williams, same. Let's have you play both. And then that means Ramey will be that backup. So Jefferson, Finger are both redshirting. And then Wendland is 1 star. Reiner is out of 4 stars, so I want him up a little higher. I want him to get some game time. So we'll put him above Ward, who's already maxed out his potential even though he's just a sophomore. And we'll put him up. Let's see if I can get the right guy here. Put Ward above... No, not Ward. I want Reiner. Okay, we'll put Reiner above King. That's a walk-on. And Lee above Ramey, but Ramey is that backup guard. He's like the only one I've got besides the walk-on here and Nick King. That walk-on player is going to end up getting some minutes, it looks like. Alright, well there's our depth chart. Now, minutes. You guys can stay in till pretty late. We'll go 70, and 70 for all the starters. Williams, 75. Henderson, 75. And then we'll shift to 80 for Crosby. Ramey, 85. 80. I want Reiner to be able to play some, so if he gets in, we'll put him to 80. And then we'll go to 90 for the rest of these guys. That's good. Okay, sub rotations. We'll go AI suggest, but sub matrix only. So it'll take what I have for the depth chart and turn that into minutes. So Bellamy is going to play 36. Harrington is just 20 minutes. Carr is just 30. Runyon's getting 30. Williams is getting 28. Okay, Henderson, I'm fine with 16 there. Crosby getting 6. Edward Ramey is going to get 14 because there's not much in choices. Reiner has 0 minutes, so I've got to get Reiner some minutes. And it really should be coming away from Harrington, with Carr playing where Harrington is. So we're going to switch Carr and Harrington a couple times, like right here. And then we'll switch out Harrington for Reiner. Okay, that's a couple. I want him to get more than 2 minutes though, so let's go to another section here and we'll do the same thing. Carr for Harrington, and then so that brings Carr up to 30 now. Ooh, Harrington's only at 16. That's a freshman. I want him to have some minutes. Bellamy's got 36. That's actually too much. That is way too much. So Harrington needs to pick up a couple Bellamy minutes, like right here. There we go. We'll put him at point guard. We'll try that anyway. Okay, 34. We'll try Carr. 30. Reiner's at least got... I want it... One more sequence here. Second half, try Carr for... Let's see, Williams is who? Which Williams? Jason Williams. Yeah, we don't need Jason Williams with 16. So, let's go Carr there, and then Reiner there. Okay, so that'll get the freshmen some time. That gets our 3 freshmen in there quite a bit. Runyon's getting 30 minutes. Harrington's getting 18. And then our 2 stars getting a lot of minutes. Yeah, that'll work. On to the season. Now remember that the team was still adjusting to play style last season, so hopefully they're going to be a little bit better off this season as we sim through the first day of the year. And there we go. Second day of the year, we are at American. Let's go ahead and watch that game. American is definitely one of the lower divisions, but we are on the road, and you've seen the depth chart. It is lacking a bit of quality. And definitely lacking some depth as well. Alright, so we're going to go fast here. We do get the first score of the game, but the score is level at 2 here, and we make it 4-2. And an and 1 there for Bellamy, who has all 5 of our points. Seven to 4, as Harrington, the freshman, gets his first career score. Carr on the scoreboard now, and it's 9-6. 9-8 as American cuts the lead to 1. A foul there. Mickey Williams misses the first free throw. He makes the second. Foul there. And 2 free throws later, and the score is level. For substitutions. But 5 minutes into this game, we've got a small lead. Ooh, foul on that one. Makes the score level. Turnover. Dead ball. Foul on the 3, it looked like. Ramey makes 2. Nope, okay, not a 3. Got a little bit of momentum here, 4-point lead. No dead ball for a while. Missed three-pointer on that one. And a timeout. A referee timeout on that one. And again, they go to the free throw line. Already at 7 fouls. That was a 1-and-1. Makes both free throws that time after the 1-and-1. So we are getting into a bit of foul trouble here as we're -4 on fouls. And now we're a minus on the scoreboard as well. And all of a sudden they've got some momentum. So I'm going to go ahead and use a 30. The timeouts is what set this up. Oh, they're not timeouts. The fouls. And getting to that 1-and-1. We're -5 on fouls, so they're not getting called for jack squat, and we are. We're -4 on rebounds as well, so we fought our way back into this one, which is good thing. So the timeout was well used as it helped take away their momentum. Ooh, turnover on that one, and a three-pointer at the other end. We get a 3 to cut the lead down to 2. And we go to the free throw line. It's still 10-5 on the fouls. Bellamy sitting on the bench right now with 13 points and 3 assists on 5 of 5 shooting. So he's off to a good start in this game. He checks back in with 3 minutes to play here in the first half. And we now trail by 4. We're shooting 50% from the field, but so are they. 6 of 7 from the line. They are 11 of 13 from the line. That is the biggest difference in the game at the moment. We're still -5 on rebounds, but after a nice three-pointer there, we only trail by 1. Bellamy's got 16 in this game already. He is definitely fighting to keep us in this game. The freshman Runyon's got 5 points. Colt Carr, 5 points, 4 boards for him. Limited action so far. We're ready to start the second half, trailing by 3. And the rebounds and the fouls were absolutely the story of the first half, as they were in the first bonus very early in the half, and already just seconds into the second half we get called for another foul. Oof. Down 10. To use a timeout early here, I think. Oh, another foul. Let's go ahead and use a 30. Finally, they get called for a foul. But he only makes 1 of 2, so doesn't take advantage of it. But the foul calls have definitely been hurting us so far in this game. Down 13 here. And we go 1 of 2 again. American really starting to pull away on us in this one. Bellamy, after his hot start, has cooled off. He's missed his last 3 shots. Jason Williams just 1 of 5. Edward Ramey just 1 of 4. There's the turnover. Dead ball. No. We just can't grab enough momentum here to get back into this game. 8 minutes to play. It looks like we are going to go down in the season opener here. So we're down 18. It's been a while since there's been a timeout. I'm going to go ahead and use a full. See if we can't build up. It took their momentum away, but they come right back and start building it again as we failed to score coming out of the timeout, and then they go down to the other end and do score. And a couple possessions later, they go to the free throw line yet again. Fouls not as bad in this half now, so we've only committed 4, but they've only been called for 2 through 16 minutes. Rebounds are a -7. Field goals still at about 45, but they're at 49. They're at 50% now exactly. 18 of 20 from the free throw line is definitely hurting us. And 10 of 20 beyond the arc. Look at that. A perfect 50%. Well, not perfect, but a very good percentage. So our 7 of 15 and 46% shooting is not doing any good when we're behind in the fouls category and we're behind in the rebounds category. Turnovers, +1, but there's too much going on in other places. Go ahead and use our last timeout. See if we can't do something here with 1:20 to play, but no. Not happening. Final 30 seconds. And we get the score back within 20, but pretty ugly to open the season. 95-76 is the final. Bellamy never put up any more points after starting 6 for 6 in this game. He got up to 6 boards and 7 assists. Carr had 7 boards and 7 points. Runyon got into double digits in his first game. Mickey Williams had 11. Let's see, Henderson off the bench had 7 points and just 1 rebound, so it's kind of a good thing he was there. Ramey had 10 points. Good game for him off the bench. And Reiner had a block. Williams had 3 blocks, but not a good first game. See if we can do more as the season continues. Next up is Boise State on the road. This was the team that knocked us out of our conference last year as we were relegated down 1 level. Looks like we might be Boise State's first game. It's the day before the game already, and they have not played. Usually they don't do back-to-backs. Nope. They do have a back-to-back. Can we benefit from that? I doubt that really plays a factor here. No, it would in real life. And we dropped to 0-2. That was a difficult road game at Boise State there. St. Louis is up next. They're at a much lower division, but it's again on the road, and that's the difficulty. We've got a tough non-conference schedule this season. That's one thing that I've always done about this game is I never alter the schedule. You do have the option to do so, but I don't. Whatever the AI sets up for me is the schedule that I get. I think that's only fair. Otherwise, it would really be cheating if you set yourself up to grab some wins where you can to set yourself up for a better season. It's not very realistic. I'm not the athletic director, so I'm not sitting down with the other schools to schedule non-conference games. So I get what I get. Okay, Watkins. Oh, interesting. Letter of intent. Oh, Delord, though. Delord is actually a JC transfer, so I suppose that the letter of intent from him is okay. Okay, Seattle and Lamar are definitely some lower conferences. That'll help. I don't have much to do in recruiting for a while, but there's one thing I want to look at. There's a key date coming up, March 19. So we'll need to keep an eye out for that, but that's going to be well into the conference schedule. Let's go ahead and go one day at a time so we can at least see some scores. There we go. St. Louis is also 0-2, but they're the home team, so slight advantage to them, our 3rd straight game on the road to open the season. There we go. Okay, so we got our first win of the year. Tight contest, 58-56. Carr just 4 points, but he had 10 boards. Runyon had 10 points. Bellamy had 11. Pretty balanced attack there with Williams and Harrington at 8 and 9. In terms of performance, let's see. Anything standing out? Ramey, 1 of 11 shooting. 7 of those beyond the arc. That's not a good day. 4 turnovers for Carr, but a couple blocks. We had 13 turnovers, but we only managed, 4 steals, 5 blocks. Pretty low scoring game. 36%. They were 33% from the field. Free throws, not much there. Well, 17 of 25. We got to the free throw line a lot more than they did. That's where we won that game, it looks like. And it was tight, both halves. 16 lead changes in that game. They played better in the paint. They were better on the break. So next up, we are at home for the first time this season. We'll have Arkansas State. They are 0-2 to start the season. Can we get our record back to 500? Just like that after a difficult start. Rankings currently, Maryland take over on top with a 4-0 ranking. Kentucky is second with 1 loss already. Surprised they didn't drop more from that. Duke is 3-2 right now. Alright, so Arkansas State 0-3, and we're at home. This is the first time this season that you look at that and go, that's a game we need to win. In that last one, it was important not to drop to 0-3, both on the season and on the road. But finally getting a home game, we needed that. 83-66, that's pretty comfortable in the end. But I have an injured player. So let's take a look at the roster, see what's the damage. It's Jason Williams, our 6th man. Our 2-star guy, getting 4.5 points per game. He's got a sprained ankle. He'll be at 75% for the next 11 days, so he can play through it. So next up, we have our second home game. It is Lamar coming up. They're in a much lower division and 1-2. We've got a chance to actually get a little bit of a win streak going after starting 0-2 on the season. Still got a few days to go, though, till that game comes up, so we'll wrap up this week. Williams down to 10 days on his injury.
You have new mail.
Mississippi Valley, they're 1-1. Conference T. Akron coming up. Conference J and 1-2, so that's pretty difficult. We have... a new league this year as we got relegated. We're down to Conference G. Still some quality teams, but you can see from the RPI, the list of quality teams is a bit shorter than it was in the conference above us, where a lot of teams are in that top 100. Now we have just a handful of teams in the top 100, and then a lot of teams that are in the top 150, just outside of it. Meanwhile, for us, 283. Even at 2-2, we're 283. So we are very much at the bottom. In fact, we are the lowest ranked school in RPI on the entire list. And there are teams that have a worse record than us, for sure. And they're still quite a bit higher. Like Vanderbilt. 1-3 overall. But they're still in top 100. Oh, man. They don't like us. They do not like us. Alright, well, after coming through the Thanksgiving holiday, we move on to our game with Lamar. I'll stick with the box score as getting into the viewing of the games, even when you try to speed through it, still takes a lot of time, so the pacing is much worse than it used to be on that. It's good if you want to follow every dead ball. It stops, but I want to see something more than that. And we actually dropped to Lamar, so that makes things even worse. 74-63, we go down in that game. Next up is Seattle U. It is a road game, but Seattle U is in a much lower conference. 0-2 to start their season. And that'll come up on December 1st. So we're going to have to improve to 2-2 on the road to get back to 500 on the season. As we are now just 1-1, playing in front of our crowd. This will put us right around halfway through the non-conference schedule. For my team right now, this non-conference schedule doesn't mean a thing. Until I get the team improving to where we're not just sink or swim, where we're kind of hovering right around the relegation zone. Last year, just getting relegated. This year, very well could get relegated again. Until I get competitive and start playing closer to the top of the division, the non-conference doesn't matter because it comes down to the preparations for tournament play. You know, what's the resume like? What's the RPI like? Well, we're 283. It's not good. Not good. All right, so Seattle U. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Can we get that third win? Can we get to 500? I would say that would be a pretty decent record after 6 games for this team. I fear it's not going to happen, but it does happen. We do get past Seattle U. 80-71. Colt Carr started the game. 16 points for him. 5 boards. Close game at the half, but we pulled away a bit in the second half. Pretty equal on a lot of things there. And the game was a bit back and forth. Let's see. Ramey had 10 points. There you go. Freshman Reiner had 12 points. Henderson had a nice day with a plus 15. 6 rebounds for him, all defensive. 7 assists for Bellamy. It's a good day. Mississippi Valley, another road game coming up. Not sure what to expect from them, and actually, their name is so long that I don't even get a look at what their record is. Still a couple days till that game's going to happen. That'll be kind of where we get our first decent look at what we're facing here with Mississippi Valley. In terms of the rankings right now, it's Maryland atop with an 8-0 record. It is Utah in second, Ohio State all undefeated, and then North Carolina, the original number 1, 6-1. They bounced back a bit after dropping right at the beginning of the season. Portland coming up. Here's Mississippi Valley State. Conference T, they were 1-1, but that has definitely changed. We'll have Akron coming up as well here in a little bit. Alright, what are they at now? 2-2. So both of us are 500 schools. But we are on the road for this one. By the way, this is our 5th road game in 7 games played this season. So 5th road game out of 7. That's why it's relatively impressive that we're at 500 right now. We were at 500. 75-71 is the loss on that one. We've got Akron coming up next, and just a couple days away till that game is going to be played here. Right now their leading scorer is Dudley, 14.3 points per game. They're getting 3.5 assists and 5 rebounds. That's not a big number, so we'll see. Our RPI has gone up, though, with those couple of road wins that we had. Jumped a good 40 spots. Ohio State picks up their first loss. They're probably going to drop from the rankings next time out. And it looks like we're down to just a few mid-majors, or at least a handful of conferences down. Arizona is 7-0, yet they're still only 11th. They started the season, I thought they were ranked around 5th or 6th. They've gone down even though they've won every game. It is a little weird how these rankings work. I mean, there's some logic to it, but there's also not so much. Akron just 1-5. That certainly gives us a chance in that game. I think they are a handful of divisions below us. Day of the game now. Chance to get back to 500. And again, that's while playing 6 of 8 on the road. Our stadium might be a little cold right now. We haven't seen it in a while. I dropped to 3-5. Dang it. Oof, go down pretty big too. 83-64. Back in the email. Akron. Oh yeah, Conference J. Okay, they're in the conference we just. 3 conferences below us. What a road game. When we're at the bottom of our league. Next up is Portland. They're just 1-6. We're at home, but it's a week, close to a week before that game's going to be played. 4 days anyway. That should get us, with finally a home game, get us back on track, get us to 4-5. Just about to the end of the non-conference schedule. We'll take a glance at the schedule here in a moment to see kind of how we're doing on that record and what we have left in the non-conference schedule, kind of how many more games we might get at home. Ooh, North Carolina drops another game. So Utah continuing to win. Now they finally move up to 3rd. Arizona now up to 8th. North Carolina State jumps from 25th to 16th. There's Florida State. Texas Arlington coming up. And let's see, schedule is somewhere right down here at the bottom. There it is. Ooh, Mississippi Valley State. That was an overtime loss. So close. Portland coming up, but then we were on the road. And then we get one more home game against Illinois Chicago, who are 5-3 with a 69 RPI. So, ouch. Ouch. Our RPI has dropped to 294. We should get the win with Portland, but it looks like we very well could be 4-7 entering conference play. It's going to be a slow week here. Let's go ahead and go straight through the week. Portland definitely should be a win. I mean, this is 80% most likely. They're many divisions below, and they're just 1-6. And we're at home. We did lose Portland last year on the road. I have a feeling with what I lost from last year this year that we've actually taken a bit of a drop. Last year's team, if I remember correctly, was pretty much all juniors and seniors that were already at the height of their game. There we go. We do get the win against Portland, so we go to 4-5 on the season. But these last couple non-conference games are both going to be fairly challenging, and it'll be 7 road games and 4 home games in the non-conference schedule. So that really adds to the difficulty. Right now we're 2-1 at home, 2-4 on the road for the season. Middle of December now. Students getting ready to head on their holiday breaks, and for a lot of schools, semester break.
You have new mail.
Yeah, Illinois, Chicago, that's going to be a pretty difficult game. At least it's at home. But that one does make me a little nervous. Look at the scouting report on this one for a change. And Carr is our only advantage. Bellamy and Runyon equal. We're behind kind of everywhere else. Game prediction. Ooh, I didn't see this. They have game predictions now. 59% chance for Illinois, Chicago. Texas Arlington on the road. 61% chance. So, like I said, we very well could be 4-7. Let's look back at that Portland one. Oh, wow. They were the favorites. We were at home. They're 1-5. And they still were the favorites. That's how bad my team is right now. Yeah, look at that. Oof. So we very well could be into another rough season here. So we're getting ready to head to that conference schedule. We've got 1 week to get through here. If we can steal one of these, 5-6 would be an outstanding record at the end of the non-conference schedule. 4-7. I I would say that's right about where we would expect to be. Especially with so many road games. They are at 4-6 now. Home game. Home game. Oh, it's still a few days away. Looks like it's going to roll over into next week. Bit of a light schedule here as we head into the new year.
You have new mail.
That'll be the games coming up for the start of the season. It's Christmas Day. There we go. Boxing Day in the UK. And here's that difficult matchup. We are at home, but they are definitely favored. I would watch the game, but we are right at the end of our time for this episode, so we'll just get through this one and see what that final standings is on the non-conference schedule, which again has no actual impact on anything other than being a bit of a barometer for where we're at as a team, which is not so good, but we do get the win. So being at home, real advantage, and we actually win by quite a bit, 91-72 final score, big halftime lead, and we continue to roll in the second half. There's only 2 lead changes, only 1 change in the score, which means we led early on and led throughout. The 19 points, which was the final score, was actually the biggest lead of the game. We got it done in the paint with 32 points. And here we go. Carr, 19 on 6 of 12 shooting, but he had 8 boards to go with that and 7 assists. So huge day from Colt Carr. He also had a couple blocks and a few steals to absolutely dominate this showing. Tyler Bellamy had a good day with 13 points, adding 4 assists. Jason Williams had 11. Crosby had 8. It's the first time he's really shown up on the stat sheet. And 6 of those were free throws where he was perfect. Harrington had 5 of 5 for 9. And Henderson had 7 boards. Runyon, bit of a quiet day for him, the freshman. But he was a +9, so he at least hustled and worked hard. There you go. So, not too shabby. 5-6 is our record right now. That is a success. That is absolutely a success. Let's take a look at the league standings for now. Again, nothing matters as we're all at 0-0, but we can get that gauge of who's looking a bit better. Well, St. Joe's is 8-3, and their RPI is 18th. Ouch. They look really good so far this season. Texas Christian, TCU's 8-5. Toledo's 8-3. North Carolina Greensboro is 8-3. Tulane is 7-3 right now. Mississippi 7-3, and Pepperdine 7-3. Vanderbilt, after struggling early on, is now 6-5. I think they opened the season 1-3. We've got Oregon State here in our conference now. They're 5-5. Baylor's 5-6. Hawaii's 4-7. So there are some teams that have worse records than us, but nobody is downright awful. I mean, the worst record's 4-7. They very well could have had as tough or tougher games. Well, look at that. they played quite a few home games. Toledo's perfect at home. Pepperdine's perfect at home. We're 3-1 at home, but we did manage to get a couple road victories. I mean, Mississippi's only had 2 road games. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. So at 2-5, we're actually better than some of the counterparts in the conference. So there is hope that we could stay above the bottom 4. It's only hope, though, because there's not a lot of it. Runyon, leading scorer. So one of our freshmen leading the way, 10.4 points per game from him. Mickey Williams grabbed 6 boards. And Colt Carr, 1.3 steals. So fairly balanced. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.